during the interview. You say, yeah, that's why I want to use a map, because the map allows for loops, because that's the real situation. Because if you keep making left turns, you get back to the original problem, right? Okay. Now, if you're doing well in the interview, we get to the point where we're like, okay, well, how would you solve that as an algorithm? What would be the algorithm you would use? And then you're like, well, I'm thinking about using A star. Why? Why would you use A star versus a breadth first search or a depth first search? You need to know the difference, right? Because a breadth first search, depth first search, and A star are similar algorithms. So who in here can tell me the difference between an A star and a breadth first search? Okay, think about it for a little bit. Let's continue. Yes, please go ahead.
So I think stack would be the better approach. For example, if you consider this use case. So for example, this is a use case. We have small bracket and the core bracket, and we can see here this is a balanced plan. So what I will try to do is first we will insert the first element, for example this one, and we will insert the second element, and if we insert the third element, when we are inserting the third element, we know it's balanced. These both are balanced. These both comes in the same category. So
Okay.
I will just pop out.
Okay, so I see what you're trying to do. So your algorithm will load into the pieces into a stack, right? It will ignore the numbers, it will ignore commas, it will ignore anything else it doesn't need, correct? Okay, and then so every time it loads, it checks the previous one, yeah? And if they match, they're popped.
Yeah, and then I will check whether the stack is empty or not. If the stack is empty, then I will just tell that it's valid.
Okay.
And it's not empty.
Then tell me why using a queue would be ideal?
Queue. Okay, so the queue is we can't use queue because if we pop out, if we try to take the element like from the queue, it will pop the last element. We want to take that element.
So basically what you're trying to say is that the queue, because of the first in, first out, it doesn't give you the opportunity to be able to pop the last elements because you want to keep the first element if it doesn't match. Okay, so give me a quick rundown with just your words about the different steps of your algorithms.
Okay, so slow right.
Yes, you don't have to write it, you can just tell us.
So first, I will just create a map, not like I will just create a map of these brackets. It matches. Like these are these both brackets are and then one by one, I will just add this character into the stack, and then whether I will check like the upcoming character is linked to the map or not. If it is linked, I will just pop out the current element and then yeah, and like I will check like the sense of the stack is empty or not. Like if the stack is empty, then the stack is not empty.
How about, did you take into account the edge case if I just gave you one character in the string? Because you're assuming, based after all the questions we asked, I did say you need to also handle the case where I just give you one character.
So if you give me the one character, I will just push it in the first stack and then put the no second character. And in the end, we know that we have a icon like this and stack is
All right, thank you very much. I appreciate it. So now after this, after we have the conversation, what I would expect for him to say is, okay, are you satisfied with my solution? I would say yes. And he would say, is it okay for me to start coding this now? And I would say, yes, please go ahead and code it. And after we're done coding, then I would say, hey, can you give me a big O notation for both your time complexity, and also space complexity? And then he would do that, and that would be the end of the interview, unless I have more feedback, unless I think we have enough time to do a second problem. Okay? So this simulation is to help you see that do not rush. Take the time to talk, because you never know. You might ask me a question that will unblock something for you. Okay? So ask questions. 75% of the interview should be us having a conversation, just as if are you working for the company. Okay? Because I want to see you succeed. Right? If you don't ask questions, on my notes I would write eager, knowledgeable, but non-communicative. Okay? Because communication is key when you collaborate. I hope everybody learned something. And since my time is way over, we're gonna be outside. Please come and ask me questions. I love doing this. And then, hit me up on LinkedIn. I'm happy to sit down and meet with you. I get paid for this. I will do a video chat with you and talk. You can ask me more questions and one-on-one if you don't feel comfortable talking to me about it. So thank you for your kind attention.
Thank you all so much for your time this morning. That's the end of the Bloomberg show. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and please connect with us later on this afternoon. We're all very eager to connect with you on LinkedIn, so don't be strangers. And if you can ever be there to support, please let us know. Thanks.
Bloomberg, one more big round of applause. Thank you guys so much. All right, now we are going to have an hour break so we can go have lunch. So lunch is going to be out where we got breakfast. So please feel free to help yourself, and I'll see you guys again at 2 p.m.
Buffalo's on the map. This is a place where great talent can do great things.
Buffalo, Seneca One, M&T Tech Hub are all on our way to be the top of minds when it comes to tech in cities outside of those on the coast.
Essentially, the way to think of the Tech Hub is it's a beacon. It sends a message and a sense of place that is inviting talent to come and collaborate and innovate and solve problems.
This corridor has to be